The legendary music composer and producer Don Laka is celebrating 50 years in the industry. Laka's successful career started in 1972 with his first single. He has since collaborated with a number of big artists, including Ladysmith Black Mambazo. To reflect on his impressive achievements, Don Laka joins me now. Very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations, 50 years. Wow. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You've enjoyed an illustrious career, 5 decades. You're a game changer. How have you managed to stay relevant, fresh, memorable with all the styles and collaborations and genres over the years?
I think, when I got into music, it was just for the love of it, and there was no... it's not like today where there's social media, where one can gain fame overnight. So there wasn't anything like that back then. One had to work hard to get in. I mean, I remember, I was looking at some of the photos that, going back into my career. And I looked at, by the way, I was only 22 when I joined Sithole. In 1980. But, from 1974, I was only 14 when I first made my first record called In the West. And, that continued. So, it was for the love of being in the music industry rather than, one trying to be famous. That's how I think most of us back then, got into the music industry.
You're known to be one of those musicians who can reflect on the current socio-economic and societal conditions in South Africa, while also doing something very magical, lifting spirits through your music, your songs of love, joy, happiness, really heartwarming music and themes. Is this deliberate?
It is deliberate, yes. If you look at almost my albums, they are themed on a subject. It's starting from, some of the stuff that I did later in life, from Destiny, Pyramid, Paradise and all that. So they're all themed according to the period of time that we are in. I mean, I just released an album during COVID, about 3 albums, one called Passion, Reflections, and Uno Mundo, and which, I finally say, the world should come as one now. We should live as one people, peacefully, no wars and stuff. I know, I mean, for humanity, we've made it impossible, but it's a possible way to go forward as humanity, to go into the future, rather than, starting wars and crime and, poverty, which is the biggest threat to the societies around the world.
Yeah. It's interesting as you reference some of your albums, because my very first personal encounter of your music was by default, my father playing your music. Pyramid was that album that I encountered in 2017. It almost has a stamped shadow of your image. Really, really wonderful album. In your career, you took a so-called self-imposed recording exile. And you returned around 2019, stopped recording for 8 years. What was happening during that time?
I was gathering a lot of material, but, there was a time when I decided, music industry has completely changed. Music is not played in South Africa. What's the use of really performing and making music, But I realized that I cannot get away from it. So that's why I came back and released these albums, in quick succession, the albums that came. Because I gathered probably about eight or so albums which are released that have come out during the COVID period. I released about 3, and others are still coming. And I'll be releasing a new one marking this 50th anniversary, which I'm taking it throughout the whole year, actually, up to September.
Wow, massive inspiration. Thank you so much for your time. All the best to you. We'll be listening, we'll be watching, and what a phenomenal journey. Thank you for your time. That the Don Laka, celebrating 50 years of a game-changing legacy.